Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And this is a Stargirl episode 6 of season 1 review. Now, before I get on with the review, one, sorry for not making the review for last week, episode 5. I did think that was a pretty good episode when it, helped develop Rick's character and we get the backs, and even Beth too, and the fact that we get the whole backstory and how our man died and stuff like that. Rick, he seems like a cool character, obviously hot-headed. So I think him joining will, eventually cool him down a bit and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, I guess in that, but other than that, and I guess for Beth, it is pretty interesting for her. I didn't know the goggles were like, kind of like, essentially like, the guy in the chair you're talking to. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was a nice look. It was a nice episode. So the introduction. This is where we get the fight of the new Justice Society versus Sportsmaster and Tigress, and they get the butts kicked them, but still, it was a pretty good episode. So also too, I'm actually making this video today. I'm gonna upload it today. I'm gonna see, how this video. Well, I'm gonna see how I feel when it comes to making Stargirl videos. Making them in the morning, just uploading them in the morning, because it's better for me and it feels like it better. Like I could have made it yesterday, but my brother was actually in my room playing a video game, right? Like he was playing the new SpongeBob game, but so I didn't have no time to record. By the time I could have recorded and did the video, um, so at like 10 p.m. my time, and there was no point in making the video and even uploading that late at night. And if you're wondering why I even upload, I'm like, why do you even do that? I want to kind of cater to the West Coast people too, because especially on the fact I'm on the West Coast right now. If I was on the East Coast, I probably would have made the video, but I'm on the West Coast. But anyways, we're not here to talk about general things. I'm gonna get into the episode, and here we go. Talk about Stargirl episode 6. Now the episode starts off, with high school football. I played high school football, and this quarterback essentially is kind of like just embarrassing this team. I'm like just juking him out and everything, and then at the end gets hit from behind by this one player. We find out that the quarterback who takes off the helmet is a girl, and this one kid's like blah 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 blah. You don't have to do. The girl's like you don't have to do that, and the boy's like, well, that's too bad. One thing I gotta just say this. I know this is like a little off-topic thing. Listen, if you're not a person in sports, who hasn't played football, um, there's a reason why the quarterback wears a red jersey, as opposed to the other players on the team. Two, you're not even supposed to even hit the quarterback in practice whatsoever because obviously, if it's the quarterback, you don't want the quarterback to get hurt. If that was a freaking honestly, if that was real life, if they made that real life, the player who hit her, should be like on the bench for doing that, or should be getting chewed out by saying don't touch the quarterback. But we get a role reversal, which I think the reason why is because she's a girl playing football. Is the coach kind of makes her sit down and is like bench because she's totally in the right of saying like, "Yo, he hit me at the last thing," and I guess she had a whole right to. I'm not saying like she shouldn't have punched him, but she kind of had the reason. She had a good reason to punch him, but because she punched him, the coach benches her. And they focus on the parents, which we later find out are Sportsmaster and Tigress. Is the fact that they kind of do something dirty. Now, Courtney comes back from her, I guess, the last episode, doing their little superhero duties, and her and Pat talk about, the fact that she stole the JSA items and stuff like that, and you know, Pat's like chewing her out and stuff like that, and he's like, "Listen, I need everything back. So get the costumes back from the people you gave them to. I'll worry about Rick and stuff like that." Now, Icicle, in the meantime, he gets a text from the Bowens, and Cameron also sees him walking out the door, and he's like, "Yo, where are you going?" And Isaac was like, "Listen, I'm just gonna go deal with something work came up." We later found out the Bowens actually killed the freaking coaches. To come to think of it, they kind of like dealt with like two other coaches, so obviously they kind of been like scaring Will, really, killing coaches off because, they feel like the coaches ain't doing good by their daughter and stuff like that. So they want to get back into the more villainy stuff, and then Isaac was like, all right, you can do what you need to do. Pat runs into Rick, and he wants to talk. They later talk about the whole, what he did with the truck, and then the journal and stuff like that. And then Rick does say kind of a hurtful comment saying like, "What do you do, Pat? You do nothing. You just take orders, don't you?" So yeah, no, he definitely doesn't think about that at the end of the episode. So anyways, at the same time, Courtney, who's trying to get the Dr. Midnight goggles away, and then the Wildcat suit away from Yolanda, they kind of essentially Courtney, talks to these two individuals, Beth and Yolanda, and they're just thanking her for what they did because they feel like without this they didn't have the life they once did when they were introduced into this. Beth said like for the first time it's like I had somebody listen to me and have a friend who's listening to me. And then Yolanda's like, after everything that happened to me, this is like my other life and stuff like that. And then you can see Courtney feeling the guilt that she has to take away these, the costumes away from them because it's like, well, these people seem like they really like this stuff. And eventually she tells them the truth at lunch, and they kind of steam off working. They kind of steam off at lunch because, I guess you can say it's in their, well, it's not in their right, but it's somewhat in their right to feel the way they feel because, these things happen to them. And at the end of the day, um, the four run into each other, and they kind of agree to do this job, which to stop the gambler, and stuff like that. So they all team up. Although Courtney reluctantly agrees to because of Pat, they all decide to do that, and stuff like that. Um, so essentially, I think the Bowens was like to retrieve like some kind of remote satellite, and so the gambler can hack into it because the gambler's like a hacker essentially, and stuff like that. We also do get information too. I also forgot to say that. So actually back in the little garage area with Rick and Pat, they try to decipher the book, but they can't. Even the Doctor Midnight glasses can't decipher the book. So maybe that's something that's going to lead down to the future of the season when it comes to that, and stuff like that. Also, I also forgot to mention, Pat does make a mention about the Green Lantern, lantern, and he's like, yeah, without the ring, that thing's dangerous. He does end up taking all those things away except the pink pen. Now, as for the Green Lantern thing, I think that's going to be a hint that we could be getting Green Lantern in the future of the season, like our DC TV show version of Green Lantern. That would be cool, you know, and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Now, it actually cuts back to what Icicle and Cameron are doing, and they're at this little diner, and then this, the person serving the food gives them this like cake because she overheard them saying like, "Oh, you're celebrating a birthday. Whose birthday is?" We was revealed that it is Icicle's wife and Cameron's mom's birthday. Sorry for that. You know, it's their birthday, and obviously, they don't mind the fact that they got the cake, and Icicle's like, "So, make your wish," and then they purposely do this. They zoom in on Cameron's breath, and Cameron's breath. I kid you not. When I was watching this, I was like, um, his breath looked a little blue and a little bit icy. So they hinted at the fact that Cameron's going to get, Icicle's powers. Now, will he use those powers for good, or will he be like his dad and use his powers for evil? I think we could get the whole thing where Cameron, when he finds out he's got his powers, he'll probably work with the JSA because he knows Courtney. And if he finds out that Courtney is, maybe a good guy, maybe he might work with her, but at the same time, maybe he finds out his dad's a supervillain and he sees that Courtney's going against her. He might side with his dad, be like, "Why are you trying to do this to my dad? My dad's a good guy," and stuff like that. So we could be going down that road. Who knows? Who knows? This isn't the first time they've hinted at, you know, one of the Injustice Society of America's, kids getting their powers passed down to them genetically. You know, Harry, he's getting brain with his dad's powers from him. And now it seems like Cameron's getting his powers down from his dad. We also do get an interesting freaking scene with the Bowens and their daughter. And it's so awkward. The fact that, oh, we're gonna go out on a date. It's been a long time, and then the daughter's like, you guys barely even go on dates, if not rarely go on dates. And they talk, and Sportsmaster and Tiger was talking this weird way. Like, if I was the daughter, I'd be like, is something wrong? Because you're not telling me something. I found like I found that whole interaction hilarious. Just the fact that they were just talking awkwardly. Like, I'm like, you could not play this off any worse. I'm like, if I was your kid, I'd be like, okay, what the hell is going on here? You trying to hide something? You know, I found it funny. So they eventually get into the building. So it cuts to the Justice Society of America, Stargirl, Hourman, um, not Tigress, Wildcat, and Doctor Midnight. They're all in their costumes. Harry, I'm not Harry. Rick wants to break the door down, but no, they find a better way. And thanks to Beth, they cut into the thing by breaking the code. Um, like I said, the villains of this week are Sportsmaster and Tyrus, and man, were they cool as hell this episode. Morley Sportsmaster. Sportsmaster, he looked like Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just from the way he looked, because especially with what he was using. He was using all these like sports items and stuff like that, and that's why it's like, you know, like, and then the hockey mask. I'm like, dude, it reminds me of a Casey Jones if he was evil, stuff like that. Um, so they all fight. Rick and Yolanda Morley get the fight against these two. Courtney kind of cuts in and fights Sportsmaster later on, but Rick fights Sportsmaster and Yolanda fights Tigress, and both of them are getting their butts kicked. This is what we should have expected. Without no training, they were getting their butts kicked. Like literally getting their butts kicked. Like the only person doing, and Beth, she didn't do anything because she has no fighting experience. I feel like they're going to have to do something. Now they did hint that they're going to do some training for them. Beth definitely needs to do training, like martial arts training. I envision Pat's going to probably get them to do some martial arts training to be more equipped and be able to handle themselves and be more, able to fight. Obviously, I think that's what Beth needs, because if she's gonna be on the JSA, she's gonna need to fight. Because in this thing, all she does is she can really hack into things right now. She can't, get into fist to fist combat, or she's done for. Now Courtney does end up joining the fight with Sportsmaster, and man, can I just say this? The Stargirl Sportsmaster fight. Oh my god, that was clean. That was clean. I gotta say, that was a clean back and forth. Like, she was dishing out the moves with the staff. That was dope. It was just so fluid, bro. Now the other fights kind of looked a little wonky and stuff. Um, the because the other fights, to me, I don't know, it was just mine. They look kind of wonky, kind of like a little weird. Like, you can definitely see that they're doing the whole pull thing from the back and lifting them up. But the whole Stargirl versus Sports Master fight, that was clean. If I ever do get a chance to watch that episode again, I swear I would watch that episode again for that part. Um, Not just because Brett Bessinger looks good in the costume, and when I mean good, she looks freaking stunning. Um, what is it? But oh, and then plus, who wouldn't? Anyone who's my age who wouldn't want to look at that and her in the Stargirl costume? I think she looks hot in the Stargirl costume. And if you ask me, don't why are you saying that? I'm 21. I know she's 20, so if she's only a year younger than me, I have the right to say that. Um, Anyways, that whole scene was clean. I was like, oh my god, what am I watching? Um, that was legit. That fight scene was legit. Um, and she was doing a pretty good job. Even Sportsmaster's like, "You're pretty good, kid." I'm like, the other three need the martial arts training. Courtney doesn't really need it, but I guess in the case of the fact if her staff is out, if she doesn't have her staff, because really, kind of her staff is kind of the thing that kind of helps her with her combat. But it would probably be good if she didn't, like, say she didn't have her staff. She's able to fight, herself, and stuff like that. Now, Tigress eventually joins in after meeting up, and we get Stargirl versus Sportsmaster and Tigress, and then that's when Courtney obviously gets her butt handed to her because she can't take on two against one. She's not that experienced. And it also goes to show that, the new Justice Society America needs to have more teamwork in their fights. They don't have any teamwork. It's like they rushed into this thing all alone. They kind of wanted to go one on one separately and do their own thing instead of just, work together as a team. And then, Pat eventually comes in, saves the day. They go back to his garage. The others are just amazed at Pat's, striped suit or his robot and stuff like that. And then what I found funny is the fact that Courtney's kind of just saying, like, they weren't listening to me. I was trying to, direct them and do all this stuff. And Pat's like, yeah, I know. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? And, it's obviously a thing where now he's saying, now he's telling Courtney, it's like, yeah, I was trying to tell you the same exact thing, but you weren't listening to me, weren't you? And then Courtney's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, you know, to do that and stuff like that. And that's when Pat's like, okay, whatever. Look, your friend's gonna need training. You guys are gonna need training to obviously combat these guys. And essentially, Pat's like, okay with them being on the team, mostly because they're already inbuilt with this, and the fact that I guarantee you, Courtney could probably tell them like, yeah, they don't want to give these things up. So obviously, we'll probably get you know maybe every now and then sprinkled, or maybe we'll get an episode dedicated to a training montage. It doesn't seem like next week, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, but it seems like they're officially part of their new Justice Society League of America. Now, the Injustice Society um, League of America at the time are having their own meeting, with High School at the head, and they have all the things to run their Project America, thing. They have everything they have ready. They just need Brainwave. So Brainwave, I guarantee you, he'll probably come back, or maybe they could use Harry because he's starting to develop his Brainwave powers. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Also, they do want to find out who are the new Justice Society of America heroes' identities now. So with the fact that the principal, and I even think the one of the Bones, the wife of the Bones, I didn't catch her first name, Tigress. The fact that I think they work at the school, um, the others need to be very careful, and they don't even know that. Now they know the principal is potentially a bad guy. Yolanda and um, Courtney know that the principal is potentially a bad guy, but they got to be careful because even Beth from the earlier called like Courtney Stargirl like out loud in the library, and she's like, "Yo, keep that down. We can't find that out. We can't be blurring things out and stuff like that." So, yeah, and that's where the episode ends off. So, yeah, so hopefully, the kids don't get their identities found out because they're gonna be in massive trouble if that does happen. Now, I feel like it will happen because Jesus, it's a running gag with DC TV shows. Villains are other side characters. Eventually, find out your true identity if you're a superhero on the DC TV shows. So yeah, I think they will find out, and we're gonna be interested to see. Now, next week is going to be a pretty interesting episode because it seems like everybody's suspicions of Sydney possibly being like a villain or some kind of metahuman, I guess, are true because apparently, guess what? It seems like she's a bad guy now. She's a bad guy, and she's gonna be fighting Courtney, which seems to be pretty crazy. Um, so yeah, she did make that threat to Courtney, saying, "Don't go against me, otherwise, or else, or you're gonna regret it, or something like this." So next week looks like it's gonna be an interesting episode: Sydney versus Stargirl slash Courtney. Obviously, this is gonna be a fight everybody wants to see. The obvious, girl, stuck up, snotty girl, get her get her jaw smacked in, but you know, we're gonna have to see where this goes. But it looks like it's gonna be an interesting episode to say the least. But I really do believe I really do believe they should have not shown Sydney's alter ego, you know, in the next episode trade preview. Now, you could say, well, you don't have to watch the next episode preview. You can just turn your TV off and leave. But, you know, I want to see what's going to be coming up next week. But it seems like, but like I said, it seems like we're going to get Courtney versus Cindy. So could Cindy find out that Courtney is Stargirl, which if it wasn't, you know, if it was so easy for her to eventually, I guess, get the Yolanda picks, she'll probably find get the she'll probably get the answers to find out how like how that Courtney is Stargirl. So we're going to see what's going on the next week. But other than that, again, like I said, I'm sorry for not posting episode 5. And I'm sorry for not posting this yesterday for you guys to see. But other than that, guys, that's all I got to say. So if you like this video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode. And I guess your hype expectations for next week, episode 7. And then hit that subscribe button if you want to get more content for the channel, whether it's Stargirl or any other thing. I know I'm going to upload, I believe tomorrow, a fairy tale review. And then actually Friday, I'm gonna make a video with the Red Wolf, my friend Denzel, and we're going to review the first season of Sword Art Online because I actually watched that and stuff like that. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay safe out there, wherever you at in the world. Things are getting crazy now. We're getting a second wave. It's really hitting now. So hopefully you guys are staying safe, whatever you know, wherever you guys are at in the world. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.